ladies and gentlemen, to this episode of Meet the Press. Today we'll be talking to John Bradley, Ira Hayes, and Reem Gagnon, brave men of the Iwo Jima flag raising. So, Mr. Bradley, first of all, I want to get to know you a little bit better. Tell me about your family and your childhood.
Well, I grew up in Antigua, Wisconsin. My mother was a warrior, the religious one as well, and my father was a World War I vet. I was always happy, a do-gooder. Unfortunately, I moved to Appleton when I was younger because of the Great Depression. And when my sister was 5, she caught pneumonia and she was gravely ill, and she passed away. It was such a painful thing to experience as a child.
Ira, tell me what it was like to be an outsider in the group.
Well, it was hard, but I feel like the barrier, you might call it, made me more passionate, more strong-willed.
Oh, and let's not forget, the one and only Reem Gagnon. Quite the last name you've got there.
It's quite an unfortunate name, Chanel.
So, tell us about your feelings about joining the war.
I really wanted to serve my country in some drastic way, and with the timing of the war, it just seemed right.
Now, back to you, Mr. Bradley. Okay, so you've given us a little insight in your life, but what were you, tell us how you felt entering the war.
Well, I was very understanding that serving our country was important, and I wanted to be one of those respected, dignified men living their lives to give to their country.
Thank you, John. Can I call you John? Thank you, John. Now to you, Ira. How's it like growing up and being a Pima Indian?
Well, I grew up in the Gila River Reservation in Arizona, and I was born into an adobe hut with only one room, so it was different.
Okay. Reem, did you have religious beliefs as a child? Like, would you consider your family religious?
Well, when I was growing up, I attended a Catholic grade school, and I believed in God, and so you could say I'm a religious man.
Okay. John, if I may call you John again, sorry. Anyways, coming from a small town in Michigan to being such an icon from raising the flag, do you think you're starstruck? Any of you?
Well, I wouldn't call it starstruck. We knew what we were doing was important in honoring our country and the soldiers who protect it. I think the surprising part is the way the people responded.
Agreed. We always thought it would be more solemn, sacred, not something so almost casual.
So this mission really brought you together as friends. Do you think the memories hold the bond with you guys?
Absolutely. Obviously, it wouldn't be like lunches on Saturdays or walks in the parks, but we'll stay in touch.
These memories will never be forgotten. And our struggles shouldn't, and they won't be either. Great answer.
Now, Reem, tell us about your childhood. What was it like growing up in being a regular kid from New Hampshire?
Well, I was born on March 7th, 1925 in Manchester, and I was born into a family of French-Canadian mill workers. And then things just sort of fell into place.
So, Min, how did you feel, and what emotions were you feeling while raising that flag?
Well, I think there was a sense of pride, but also sorrow for the lives lost and struggles that every single man on the island went through.
I also agree, but I felt honored to be one of the men to raise the great flag of the United States of America.
So, Reem, do you have anything else to say about the flag raising?
Well, actually, they all summed it up pretty well.
Okay. So, how are your guys' feelings about returning to America?
I was very happy to see my family and glad to be home where I know I'm safe.
Yeah, and I was happy to be home as well. It was nice to be home at a place that was familiar.
Well, I think that's all we have time for today. It's time to wrap up. Thank you guys for coming out. Goodbye, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for
Bye.
having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Press. Today, we have a very special family with us today. A family of one of the men who raised the flag of the on Iwo Jima. Please welcome the Bradley family.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. Well, we know your husband was a very special person, so tell us about how you felt about your husband, or boyfriend at the time, enlisting in the war.
Well, as any girlfriend, I was obviously opposed, and I didn't want him going off and fighting in a long war across the whole world.
That makes complete sense. Now, How was your husband once he returned from the war?
To be completely honest, he wasn't all right. He was kind of stressed, and returning from the war, he cried every night for 4 years. He would sleep with a knife in his drawer by his bed at night, and he also had nightmares about his friend in the war, Iggy, being tortured by the Japanese soldiers, and often blamed himself for not having saved him.
That's very unfortunate. Sad he had to live that kind of life, but he was a hero. Anyways, so you have children here today.
Yes, 3 out of my 8 children have come with me. The other 5 couldn't be here today. They were busy.
Hello, children.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
They're adorable.
Thank you.
I really want to meet the other 5. You have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
I know. Anyways, so why did John never want to be have publicity about his works in Imojima?
It wasn't because he wasn't proud of what he did for his country. He was very genuinely happy, but it took an impact on him, and his fellow soldiers passing did as well. It was very hard for him. It wasn't because he wasn't proud of what he did for his country. He was genuinely happy that he took this impact, and his fellow soldiers passing was hard though. He didn't want attention from the press because he thought it would bring up traumatizing events and memories from the war. He had a sweet and noble heart and didn't want to risk it by hurting it again.
Okay, I think that is all we have time for. So thank you all so much for coming. You have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
Anyways, that is another episode of Meet the Press. Have a nice day. Hi, I'm Ashton and I played Chanel, the interviewer.
Carson, I don't want to be here.
That's Carson, he doesn't want to be here. This is
Extra important.
Haley!
and she played
2 people.
Child.
and
Oh, and Reen Gagnon.
this is
Jaylene, and I played the adopted
Asian child
We
from
saw her from
Japan.
from Japan. Yes, I was stolen, kidnapped.
This was the main character and my husband.
We love you. Thank you for watching our presentation.
May you rest
And
in
that was my
peace.
brother, FYI. Goodbye.
Okay,
I may or may not have been doing that the entire
Why?
time.
Okay, Carson has been making faces the whole time.
No, I totally saw him
And
through
they've
the
been
mirror.
awesome.
No, we're keeping.
ladies and gentlemen. Pull yourself
Hey.
together, Ashton.
We can do this.
Pull yourself together.
Okay,
You
are
are
you
a
ready?
superhero.
We ready?
The Incredibles, nobody? You guys?
I
The
got it.
Incredibles, you got the reference?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, go.
Okay, ready?
You are Elastigirl.